Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Catching Up with Aaron. This is episode number 3. We're being consistent. My goal originally when I first started this series was to at least do 1 month consistent of videos a week. And, I'm on the 3rd week now, 4th week coming up. So I'm really looking forward to creating that 4th episode and hopefully continue to build that habit and continue to have that mindset of consistency over perfection, which if you haven't watched, I should say, last week's episode, that's what I went over about the struggle between trying to, create the perfect content piece versus just putting out what you've got and developing from there. So that was episode 2. We're on episode 3 right now. Hopefully you are all having an amazing week whenever you're watching this. Today's day of recording is May 16th, 2022. It's crazy. We're already over halfway into the month of May. Time is flying. If you're from Vancouver, you've known that the weather has not been very good so far, but today on this Monday, it's cloudy, a little bit of sun every now and then, but no rain, so hopefully that continues. But I'm not a meteorologist. That is not why you are here. If you are, then, well, you've come to the wrong place. But anyways, I'm going to be talking about in today's episode or this week's episode about work-life balance and as well the importance of kind of making sure that you, again, find that balance between those two things, between your work and your personal life, but also what happens if you burn out. And I talked about this a little bit, especially on the burnout side, on one of my blog posts these last couple of months about burnout, what I did to kind of go over that burnout and the different things that might help you in terms of overcoming or maneuvering away from that kind of aspect or area in your life of making sure that you're not achieving burnout, but you're maintaining, again, that healthy balance. And again, that's not always the easiest thing to do. So if you are interested in learning a little bit more about burnout in written content, make sure to check out my blogs. Again, on my website, you can find it down below in the description. But I'm going to talk first about work-life balance and what that means to me. And I'm going to get a little comfortable here now that I'm not in my usual scuff setup at home. I actually have a couch, so let me know if in the comments as well if you enjoy this setup a little bit more. But when it comes to work-life balance, I think especially as young professionals, I would say maybe someone who's just fresh out of university, of 1 or 2 years, maybe even 3, finding and establishing themselves professionally. Sometimes the balance aspect can get thrown out of that window instead and be replaced with the need of you got to work hard, you got to grind, you got to hustle, and work yourself up the quote unquote corporate ladder, if you myself or others as well, is that it's a really a roller coaster. There's some weeks where you feel like you're on top of the world, everything is perfect, you've got your calendars all synced up, you're not missing any meetings, you're not falling behind on any of your tasks, you are a rock star, right? And you feel on top of the world. And there's other days or other weeks or other months sometimes where you are barely getting it together. You are struggling to even do, let's say, 1 out of the 5 tasks that you have to do, and that one task was just your non-negotiable, and the last thing you want to do is pump out the 4 other tasks. So that aspect of the work-life balance can be definitely difficult, and understanding that, yes, it's important to work towards your goals. Yes, that, working hard and doing everything that is maybe expected of you professionally, and maybe also going above and beyond, will, lead people the right direction of how they perceive you. But I think on the other side is also important to understand what it is that you want and what your work life looks like. For some people, it's going to be a matter of, you go to your 9 to 5, you have your 1 hour lunch break, you finish at 5, you punch out, and you go enjoy, a nice long walk around the beach, you do some physical activity, you spend time with your friends, and that's their way of appreciating, what life would be as a working professional. And others, as I said earlier, it might be the 9 to 5, and then on top of that, you're working from 6 to 12, and you're working on your personal projects, you're trying to build a business, whatever the case might be, and that might be their definition of balance. So I know sometimes you see a lot of things of like the hustle culture and everything along those lines of you need to go work, and I would say for the most part, and I'd love to hear everyone else's opinion on this, that's sometimes frowned upon of you need to take a break. You shouldn't be working 12 hours a day. You need to go outside, get some fresh air. And I think there's a little bit of both to that. I think that you need to see both parties and really understand who that person is as an individual to then understand how they perceive a healthy work-life balance. So it's a situation or a topic that I wanted to discuss in this week, because for me personally, I'm kind of going through that roller coaster right now of sometimes being unsure of like, if this is a healthy work balance, what is it my goals are? Should I be spending more time, with friends? Should I be, doing this? Should I be doing that? Do I feel bad if I maybe skip out on this? Or should I be playing more games, more Netflix, etc.? So it was, again, a moment of self-reflection. There seems to be a lot of that in this series, but the moment of self-reflection of understanding, like, what do I perceive as a healthy work-life balance? What do I want to do when I, finish my day job? Do I want to keep, working on side projects, trying to build the brand, etc.? Or do I just want to do that? And there's days where it pivots, right? It kind of comes in little spurts sometimes. So I just wanted to have that dialogue. And maybe for you, if you're watching this and you're a working professional, young adult, etc., that's maybe even entering a stage of like, what does my work-life balance look like? Or maybe you're a university student and you're wondering what work-life balance looks like. I think to sum all of this up together, it's really up to you, which is maybe a worse summary, but it's a matter of how you perceive it to be, and you decide as well what you look for in a job. What kind of values do they have? A quick comparison, if I may, from Vancouver to Toronto, right? It's sort of like Toronto people say that Vancouver is a lot slower paced when it comes to the work life. You're done at 5 and that's it. In Toronto, so there's this kind of, again, I'm overgeneralizing a lot, apologize, but for the sake of this comparison, Toronto is like super quick. You're working from like 8 to 8, your hours are long, you're working hard, you're grinding to showcase to your employer that you deserve that raise or that promotion. So, the work force and the work culture in general obviously has changed a lot in the past 2.5 years, 2 years now, yes, now. And I think the most important part is just to really understand who you are and what you value in that work relationship, so that you can balance it out with your life. So I just wanted to touch upon that. Again, these episodes are more just kind of me realizing what I've learned and going over in the past previous weeks and having that conversation out loud, which I then record and upload to YouTube in hopes of, again, sparking dialogue with you, the viewer. One just last kind of touch upon thing or final thing that I want to touch upon is the burnout aspect. And again, I think burnout is something that a lot of us deal with. You're a student, you're a parent, you're a working professional, you're single, you're married, whatever. Burnout is, it's unfortunately a part of life. However, that's not to say that it doesn't always have to be, right? Or chronic burnout is obviously something that you're trying to avoid. So again, I won't dive it into too much details, just because as well, like I think I talked quite a bit about the work-life balance, and that was the primary topic. But burnout is, again, something that everyone tackles in different ways, and different kind of ways to reduce that burnout or alleviate that burnout. So again, there's a kind of more detailed blog post in my website if you want to check that out. So other than that, again, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to everyone who's watched these last couple of episodes. I will continue to do this series. Really, I think for the foreseeable future, I really just enjoy taking about 15 to 20 minutes to, maybe set up, record, and then maybe another 30 to 40 to just edit the video. Again, it's nothing too fancy, but it just helps me to build that consistency, and gets me a little bit more comfortable in front of the camera as well. I've noticed some actions or some mannerisms in my first 2 episodes that I pointed out to myself. I'm like, oh wow, I do that, and like subconsciously you don't think you are. But anyways, that's a story for a different time. But thank you again, everyone, for watching episode number 3. And if you are kind of as well, like either a working professional or a student or whatever, and you want to talk a little bit more about work-life balance and what that means, or you're interested in learning, about the opportunities of like, I have this role, but it wants me to work so many hours, and just, again, have that open conversation. My inbox is open. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can message me through my website, whatever works best for you, Instagram, etc. I love to chat, as these things are just everyday things that sometimes are just brushed underneath the rug, right? And things that maybe more people should be talking about, consistency versus perfectionism, work-life balance, navigating your 20s. I hope to get some people to feel more comfortable about these topics that may not see the light of day sometimes. So thank you again, everyone. Once again, my name is Aaron. If you're watching this on YouTube, I appreciate it. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below if you want to talk about a certain topic, or you want to discuss something in future episodes that you want to hear about. But other than that, have a good rest of your week. Take care, and I will see you for episode number 4. See you, everyone.